So far in our pre-spring practice position group preview that we've been working through here on the channel, we've taken a look at the offensive line, and we've talked a little bit about the Crimson Tide running backs for the 2021 season. On today's episode of Tide Talk, we're going to take a dive into the wide receivers position group at the University of Alabama, led by John Metchie. We need to figure out exactly who else will aid John Metchie in making this Crimson Tide offense elite once again this upcoming season. You're not going to want to miss a single minute of today's episode of Tide Talk, and we'll get started right now. All right, let's go ahead and start today's episode off the same way that we always do, with a question for our viewers. Get in the comment section right now and let me know what you think. Y for yes or N for no, will John Metchie be the leading wide receiver for the University of Alabama this upcoming season? I'll pin that down in the comment section, and as always, I cannot wait to see what you all think about that. All right, moving right along, we asked our question to start the episode off about John Metchie, so we might as well start right there. John Metchie is a known commodity for the Alabama Crimson Tide. When he was healthy last season, he was nearly unguardable at times and proved that he can play on an elite level, especially when he had the chance early in the season last year. A little bit banged up throughout the remainder of the season, but I expect Metchie to return to that unguardable form that we saw during the first few weeks of the 2020 football season. And I'm really excited about the potential that he has and the production that he will bring from that outside receiver spot for Bill O'Brien and this upcoming season's Alabama Crimson Tide offense. Now, with Metchie locking down for sure one of those wide receiver spots, I think that the other two candidates, at least to open spring practice, we will see Xavier Williams and Slade Bolden as our other two receivers. Now, I'm not sitting here and telling everybody that I expect Slade and Xavier to be the starters for the remainder of the season, but at least to open spring camp, we'll see John Metchie, Xavier Williams, and Slade Bolden as our first three wide receivers, and I don't think that there's any doubt about that. These are guys that have been in the program, they're experienced, and just like we talked about for a moment in the running backs video, Coach Nick Saban, sometimes even to a fault, is very, very loyal to his returning and experienced players, and I don't think it'll be any different with this wide receiver group, at least to open spring practice. Now, Alabama had some stud wide receivers last season that didn't really see much time that I expect to step up in a big way for this next season. And the first guy that I'll mention to you is Javon Baker. Now, back when Javon was going through his recruitment, we made videos talking about how exceptional that he was and how excited we were to get him to Alabama and get him rolling. As soon as he stepped on campus in the 7-on-7 work that was being done outside of the organized practices that Alabama would hold, he immediately was turning heads with his physicality, his route running, his ability to high point the ball. Javon Baker is an absolute stud wide receiver, and if he can just get a little better on his blocking when he's called upon to do so, I think that he will be a major piece to Bill O'Brien's offense for this upcoming season. Now, losing Jalen Waddle and losing, guys like Smitty and the wide receivers that we've been accustomed to seeing over the past couple of years, we have to have somebody that we can plug in here and replace that insane amount of speed that we've lost when Jalen Waddle decided to move on to the National Football League. And I think that one young man that would be capable of running those routes that Waddle ran for us oh so perfectly would be Thio Jones-Bell, a very, very fast young man in his own right, and, you know, a guy that I could very much see kind of filling that role that Waddle had for those plays that just required an incredible amount of speed. Thio Jones-Bell is definitely a young man that has plenty of speed to spare. Also, we can talk a little bit here about Treyshawn Holden. Treyshawn is a little bit different type of wide receiver, but he is a big guy, could be a real threat in the red zone on 50-50 balls. Treyshawn Holden can go up and get it done. Another guy that I'll be watching to see if he can carve out a role in the Bill O'Brien offense for this upcoming season. Now, back to kind of what we were talking about a few minutes ago with needing to find that speed to stretch the field on offense. We got another couple young men we're going to talk about that can do just that. But before we get into those two names, if you haven't hit that subscribe button already, I don't know what you're waiting on. We're going to be here all season long on the Alabama Football News and Rumors channel, bringing you the best coverage of the Alabama football program that we possibly can. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers here on our channel, and we sure would appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button for us right now. All right, we got that out of the way, talking about speed, and I've got a couple of names that I want to mention here that I expect these young men are too good to not play some sort of role on the offense this upcoming season, and I'm talking about Christian Leary and Jojo Earle. Now, Christian Leary, I asked when he was still going through his recruitment who he reminded people of, trying to get a player comparison from some of my sources on him. And I was told that Christian Leary is like Kenyon Drake with a wide receiver skill set. And if that is the case, then look out. Christian Leary could have a major impact on the offense this next upcoming season for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Jojo Earle, of course, everybody knows, a last-minute flip from the Tigers of LSU. And this young man is electrifying, point blank, period. The speed to stretch the field is there. Elite short area quickness and burst. I don't think Jojo Earle will have any problems whatsoever getting separation against the defensive backs that we play against week in and week out in the Southeastern Conference. So really got to watch Christian Leary and Jojo Earle for two guys that could potentially pick up where Jalen Waddle left off. No doubt about that. This wide receiver group, though we don't have as many big names right now at this point during, getting close to opening spring camp as we did last year, is a group that is uber talented in its own right. And I really expect, especially with Bill O'Brien calling the shots, to see some great production from the wide receivers at the University of Alabama this upcoming season. Hey, if you're enjoying the content that we're putting out here for you on the channel, do me a favor real quick and hit that thumbs up button. That does two things for us. Number one, it gives me an idea if you're enjoying the content or not, and I really, really look for that feedback in order to put together what we're doing in the future here on the channel. Number two, it forces that YouTube algorithm to recommend our videos more often. More recommendations turns into more views, which makes us want to roll out more content. So that's a good situation all the way around. Hit that thumbs up button for me right now. And if you haven't saw the all-new TideTalkSports.com yet, you need to head over there and check it out right now. We have user forums where you can contact us directly and join the conversation with the Tide Talk Sports staff, and also jump into some good old Tide Talk with some of the other site users that we appreciate oh so very much. We'll be looking for you over at those forums on TideTalkSports.com. Had to take a little while today to continue our pre-spring practice position group preview. Hope you all enjoyed looking at the wide receivers that we will utilize this upcoming season. Once again, I'm Ricky Green for Tide Talk Sports on the Alabama Football News and Rumors channel presented by Chat Sports. We'll see you next time. Roll Tide.